The movie begins in Japan with a student named Takahata. He was an outstanding student among his peers because he was intelligent, which made him feel bored with his life. He wished for any challenge to bring excitement into his existence. His wish comes true suddenly while he is in class, and as the teacher stands at the board, his head explodes. A strange talking toy named Daruma emerges from it. The toy challenges the students. If it turns its face and sees any student move, it will explode their head. However, if the toy turns its back, the students are allowed to move freely. Now, the toy turns its face and sees a student moving, killing him. Those who are scared and try to run are also instantly killed. Afterward, the toy turns its face again and keeps saying its name, leaving the remaining students terrified, wondering what to do. When Daruma kills a student, small red balls emerge from them. Some students wait for Daruma to turn and run to open the door, but it's locked and they are trapped. Daruma turns again and kills 2 more students. The remaining students begin to scream in fear, but one student named Sakati calms them down, explaining that the game is called Daruma, and they are trapped until it kills them all. There is a button on the back of the toy, and if they press it, the challenge will end. One student makes a huge mistake and runs to press the button, but Daruma senses him, turns, and kills him. This was Daruma's strategy, to talk calmly and then turn quickly when sensing a student getting close. The students notice a timer on the back of the toy with only 1 minute left. If the minute expires, all the students will die. They all try to get close to Daruma to press the button, but one slips on the balls on the floor, and the toy turns, killing him. The classroom is now filled with corpses, with only 10 seconds left. Only 2 students remain, Takahata and Sakati. They decide to devise a plan to win the challenge. Sakati will crouch down, while Takahata jumps onto his back swiftly to press the button. In the final second, Takahata succeeds, and the toy falls, looking upset. Takahata and Sakati rejoice at having survived, but suddenly, Sakati's head explodes. The toy tells Takahata that he was the one who pressed the button, so he is the only one who won the challenge. Takahata can't believe what happened, and the toy informs him that the cat is yet to come. Daruma means that it was giving him a preview of the next challenge. Suddenly, the classroom door opens, revealing Takahata's friend, Ichika, who is in shock. Takahata rushes to check on her, and Ichika explains that she was also in a Daruma challenge. When she pressed the button, all her classmates died. Takahata insists they need to call the police, but when he checks his phone, there's no signal. They try to escape the school but find all the doors locked. Takahata attempts to break a window, but it won't shatter. They discover an opening door leading to the gymnasium. Once they enter, the door slams shut, and they realize they are trapped again. However, there are other students inside, some of whom are wearing rat costumes. Takahata understands they are entering a new challenge, with a sign on the ground saying, "Get the ball into the basket to win." Suddenly, the ground shakes, and a statue of a cat emerges. The cat attacks a student dressed as a rat, and begins to chase any other rat-clad students to eat them. This challenge proves to be harder than the previous one, and the students run in fear. The cat chases Takahata and Ichika, but doesn't eat them since they aren't wearing rat costumes. Ichika notices a ball rolling on the ground, and they see the basket near the cat. Takahata realizes they must get the ball into the cat's basket. He informs the other students, and a basketball player asks Ichika to throw him the ball. When he catches it, he shoots for the cat's basket, and it seems like it will go in, but the cat blocks the ball and throws it back at the student with great force. He crashes into the wall and dies. The cat grabs the ball and throws it at the student with great force. The student crashes into the wall and dies. After that, the cat looks at Takahata, but doesn't eat him. Instead, it focuses on any student wearing a mouse costume. Takahata realizes that the cat will eat anyone in a mouse outfit, so he warns the students and asks them to take off their costumes. All the students comply, thinking they are safe now. Suddenly, the cat moves again and starts to eat anyone. The students run in fear around the playground, and Chika finds a ball next to her with a timer showing 3 minutes left. The cat approaches Chika to eat her. When Takahata sees that she is about to die, he quickly puts on the mouse costume to save her. The cat leaves Chika and chases Takahata instead. He keeps distracting the cat, running left and right, and asking anyone to throw him the ball, but all the students are scared of meeting the same fate as the basketball player. Takahata starts to hear a strange sound and realizes that it's because he is wearing the mouse costume. He understands what the cat wants. It needs someone to scratch its back so it can sleep. After figuring this out, Takahata runs and climbs onto the cat's back, holding onto the strap, and starts scratching its back. When he does this, the cat feels good and stops attacking anyone. It wants him to keep doing that. Takahata asks the other students to help him, and Chika comes over to assist. Once the other students see that this tactic works, they jump onto the cat's back and do the same. The cat begins to fall asleep, and eventually does. Takahata grabs the ball to throw it into the basket, but the other students come over, each wanting to throw the ball themselves because they fear the one who throws it will be the only one to survive. They argue about who will throw the ball, and because of their loud voices, the cat wakes up and kills 2 of the students with its claws. Takahata realizes they won't have time to put the cat back to sleep because there's no time left. Suddenly, he has a brilliant idea. He takes a deflated basketball and asks Chika to get her cat ball and sneak behind the locker room. After that, the 2 of them come out, each holding a ball wrapped in a mouse costume, and they approach the cat from different directions. The cat is confused about which one of them has the ball that it should catch. Takahata accidentally shows that he has the fake basketball, and the cat realizes that the other ball is with Chika. It grabs that and goes to catch it. But this turns out to be part of the plan. While the cat is focused on Chika's ball, Takahata throws his ball, which contains the cat's original ball inside it. Unfortunately, the ball doesn't go into the basket, and everyone thinks they have lost the challenge. Suddenly, a student named Amaya appears from behind the cat and scores the ball in the basket, winning the challenge at the last second. The cat stops completely and announces the end of the game. After a few seconds, it declares that the winners are Takahata, Chika, and Amaya, but it doesn't mention any other students' names. Takahata wonders what will happen to the rest of the students. Suddenly, Amaya kills the remaining students who lost because he was a crazy person. He approaches Takahata and Chika and says, "We are the winners, so we deserve to live." Chika responds, "You're insane. You can't compare yourself to anyone." Amaya becomes upset by this and is about to kill Chika when Takahata intervenes to stop him. After that, the cat releases white smoke and the 3 students disappear. On the news, we see that similar challenges are happening in schools around the world, with more than 10 million students dead. The reporters say that the cause of this is aliens. We see huge cubes appearing and flying in the sky. In the Japanese cube, Takahata wakes up and sees an old friend of his from another school named Taxa. The 2 of them were once close, and there were 2 other students present from different schools, named Tara and Tasa. These students had managed to survive the Daruma challenge and the cat challenge in their schools. Takahata realizes that all the students here have names starting with the letter T, so he assumes there are other rooms with students who have also won challenges, each room containing students whose names start with a specific letter. Takahata remembers that Ichika and Amaya also start with the same letter, and he worries they might be together in the same room. However, the door is locked, leaving him with nothing to do. He knocks on the door, hoping someone will hear him, but the student named Tara stops him. Tara is a very clever and arrogant young man. He tells Takahata that no one will come to help them and shows him the news, which discusses their situation. Takahata realizes that they are inside the cubes that have appeared around the world. Tara tells him that they are trapped here and all they can do is wait for the next challenge. Then there's a knock on the door and 4 strange dolls fly in the air. They tell the students that it's time for the 3rd challenge, which is harder than the previous ones. One of the dolls asks Tara to start the game. Confident in himself, Tara agrees. The dolls explain that Tara will sit on the ground and cover his eyes while they sing around him. After they finish the song, they will ask Tara who is standing behind him. Tara gets nervous and answers incorrectly, causing him to lose. One of the dolls shoots a laser at Tara, taking complete control over him, making him hit his head on the ground until he dies. After Tara dies, the dolls ask Takahata to play, but she refuses, terrified. The dolls tell her that if she refuses to play, she will die immediately, so Takahata has no choice but to play. She covers her eyes, and the dolls sing and spin around her, asking her who is behind her. Due to her extreme fear, she takes too long to respond, and the dolls consider her a loser. She wants to escape, but the dolls surround her. One of the dolls shoots a laser at her, forcing her to spread her legs, and they pull her until her body splits in half. The dolls then choose Toxa, but Takahata says he wants to play instead. The dolls agree, and Takahata begins to sing while they circle around him, asking him who is behind him. To everyone's surprise, Takahata answers correctly. The dolls are astonished and ask how he knew. He replies that he memorized their movements while watching them play with Taka and Tara. After Takahata succeeds, the dolls disappear, and a key appears in their place. Takahata and Toxa manage to exit the room with the key. They see one of the students running, holding a key and being chased by one of the dolls. This student warns them, saying they must hold hands because the doll kills students who are alone. When the doll sees them holding hands, it leaves them and goes to look for a student alone. Now, Takahata's team has 2 keys. They then hear a sound and move towards it, discovering that the sound is coming from Ichika, who is being chased by the doll. Takahata leaves the group and runs towards Ichika to save her, grabbing her hand just in time before the doll can kill her. Then, a large wooden head appears on the wall with a countdown timer and 7 slots for keys. The head speaks, saying that 7 people must place the 7 keys. Takata's team encounters 2 other students who have 2 keys, leaving only 1 person and 3 keys left, with only 2 minutes remaining. They feel hopeless, thinking there's no time left. Suddenly, someone throws the 3 keys in front of them, and it turns out to be Amaya, who has another student with him. Since there are 8 of them now, Amaya kills the student with him so that they will be 7. He says he only needed him to hold his hand so the doll wouldn't kill him. Takata doesn't want Amaya to join them, but has to agree because they need him. They place the 7 keys in the wooden head to proceed to the next challenge. The wooden head tells them the challenge is over and commands them to change their clothes. Then, they disappear and open a tunnel for them to enter. They pass through this tunnel and reach the other side, which is a place full of snow. They feel the ground shaking, and then a giant white bear appears, performing a show in front of them. After that, the bear stops and says, "I hate lying." This challenge is that I will ask you questions, and you must answer truthfully. However, if any of you lies, you must try to identify that person or choose someone to sacrifice so that you can move on to the next stage. After the bear explains the rules, he asks them what their favorite food is. They think it's an easy question, and everyone answers. But the bear smells the liar and says he can smell the scent of a lie. He tells the team they have 2 minutes to identify the liar or sacrifice someone, and everyone starts accusing each other. They direct their suspicions towards a student who answered that his favorite food is vegetables, which isn't a complete meal. The student insists, "I'm not lying, I really like vegetables." But the team chooses him, and the bear kills the student. After that, the bear moves on to the second question, asking if they love Takahata. Since Ichika and Toku are fond of him, they say they love him. Amaya also says, "I love him," and the other students agree. After everyone answers, the bear says, "There's one liar among you." Ichika immediately accuses Amaya, saying he doesn't really love anyone, and the two continue to argue. But Takahata asks why someone would lie if the bear can know. The bear responds, "You figured out the secret. One of you is an alien disguised as a human, and he has been lying from the beginning. You must identify him and get rid of him, or he will be the reason you all die." After the bear says this, a student claims that the liar is Toku because he is definitely not an alien, nor is his friend since they are from the same school. Takahata, Ichika, and Amaya are also from the same school, so Toku is the only different one, and they must sacrifice her. But Takahata and Ichika defend her, and time is running out. The 2 students from the same school and Amaya choose Toku, and the majority proceed with this choice. The bear kills her, and Takahata is shocked to see his old love die, leaving only a bit of blood behind. The bear prepares to ask the next question, but Takahata interrupts, saying, "I know who the liar is." The bear is surprised, and Takahata reveals that the liar is him. He explains that Toku helped him figure it out because her blood washed away the white paint you sprayed on your body, meaning your true color is black. Therefore, you have been the liar all along. No one among the dead was a liar, meaning the bear was just convincing the students there was a liar among them to kill them all. The bear gets angry that Takahata exposed his secret and tries to attack the students to kill them. But the students run away until the bear falls, and his body burns, melting the color on his body. In the end, the bear accepts defeat and announces their victory in the challenge. They then move to the new place where they will play the next challenge. Small dolls enter and tell them that this challenge is the final one. One of them will be chosen to be Akuma, who will take a box and place it in the red circle on the ground. Meanwhile, the other students will hide, and Akuma will start searching for them. When he sees anyone, he will call out their name loudly and put them in a cell. If Akuma captures 3 or more students in prison, he will win. But if any student manages to kick the box, they will free everyone in the cage. However, they must know that the box contains a bomb, and the person who kicks the box will explode and die, meaning they are sacrificing themselves for the others to live. Finally, the dolls say that the challenge will not end until sunset, which is about an hour from now. If the hour ends and Akuma has not captured 3 or more people, he will lose. One of the dolls brings out 5 sticks to choose the student who will become Akuma. Unfortunately for them, the one who gets picked as Akuma is Amaya, the craziest student among them. The game begins and all the students run to hide. Amaya takes the box and places it in the red circle, then starts looking for the students. He easily finds the 2 students from the other school, and they try to fight him, but he is stronger and manages to throw them in the cell. Takahata and Ichika see what happened from a distance, but Amaya spots them and knows where they are. He heads toward them, and Takahata tries to act quickly, tying a rope to escape through the window. But Amaya reaches them quickly, and Ichika realizes they won't make it in time. So she tries to buy time for Takahata. She approaches Amaya, and once he grabs Ichika, he quickly tries to catch Takahata. But Takahata has already escaped. Takahata knows that Amaya. He looks around the place for anything he can use and finds a metal suit. Takahata puts it on to protect himself from the explosion when he kicks the box. The problem is that the suit is very heavy and restricts his movement. On top of that, Takahata ends up looking ridiculous and drops the sword from his hand, retreating to the back of the castle, now unprotected. Amaya takes off the helmet he's wearing and mocks him, but he is surprised to find that Takahata has tied himself up with a chain. It turns out that all of this was Takahata's plan, and he managed to tie the chain to himself when Amaya took the helmet off, preventing him from reaching the box. Takahata says, "I used to find life boring and wanted any change. But after what happened and the games we've been through, I realized the value of life that I had. I was foolish, but unfortunately, humans don't appreciate the blessings they have. Because of these games, I lost my friends." Then Takahata jumps off the castle, dragging Amaya with him. Takahata manages to escape from the suit and climbs again. Amaya tries to pull the metal suit off as quickly as possible. Takahata reaches the surface and moves towards the box to kick it, but his body is exhausted and he moves slowly. Amaya tries to pull the suit off in time, freeing himself from the chain, and tries to stop Takahata. But Takahata manages to kick the box, freeing his teammates. Everyone is afraid of an explosion, but nothing happens. It turns out there was no bomb inside the box. Seconds later, the sun sets, and the challenge ends. The dolls appear and announce that Takahata is the winner. They say they lied about the bomb just to make the challenge more exciting. Amaya is upset about losing, and that he will die. But the dolls say that the final challenge was just a game, and no one will die. Celebrations start in the sky, and the students rejoice that they will finally leave alive. The dolls give them ice cream as a gift for winning. Takahata eats the ice cream and discusses with Ichika what they will do when they get out. After talking for a long time, Takahata notices that there is writing on the ice cream stick, but doesn't pay much attention, and continues talking to Ichika. However, Ichika starts crying after reading what was written on her stick, which said, "You lost, and you will die." The dolls speak again, saying that every challenge you entered required skill and intelligence. But in the end, luck will determine who lives and who dies. They also say that every ice cream you received has written on it the fate of each one of you, and Ichika's fate is to die. Takahata looks at his stick, and his luck is good. He will live. Amaya will also live, but the other 2 students will die. After the fate of each one is determined, Ichika and the 2 students are struck by lasers from one of the dolls and die. Thus, all challenges come to an end, and the 2 of them are transported to the top of the flying cube. Everyone cheers for them for managing to survive, but Takahata is deeply saddened because he lost his beloved. And thus, we reach the end of the episode.